going on? What's going on? What's going on? Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good Friday. If you haven't done it by now, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you like the stream and comment and do everything you want to do on the stream. Uh, Today, as y'all know, man, y'all know what today it is. It's D I Love Friday, but we're gonna make it different today. We're gonna make it different today. It's the Houston Takeover. The Houston Takeover for today. That is what we doing today, y'all. Um, it's the H-Town Takeover, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know Jackson State, Texas Southern team went down there. They already down there. Got down there. I think today. Either yesterday or today. Pretty much. Hey man. We took over. We taking over H Town. Now Jazz, you do have a pretty big presence in Houston. So the Alumni Association down there in Houston, Texas, man, it is one of the big ones. What's up? What's up, Brian? I'm about trying to put this stream up on here. Stream up. Hit the stream. I know right now everybody's watching. I know everybody's watching the game right now between Prairie and Alcorn. I'm kind of in between watching and listen to it right now for myself. Anybody want to come on there? Brian, you ready to come on here? Let me know. Hold on. Oh man, my bad, y'all. My bad. I just got home, so put some food on. Put some food in a microwave. Trying to eat. I know everybody's watching the Prairie Alcorn game 9-7. Alcorn is up in the third quarter. Man, thank you, Brian, for giving me a shout out with DJ, man. He's a good dude, good brother. Excuse me. But this is what I'm talking about today, y'all. Yesterday we got the news, we got the word on the street that this game for tomorrow, Jackson State versus Texas Southern, is sold out. So the prime is in full swing for real. That we sold out the soccer stadium. That's what I call it. We sold out the soccer stadium. And it's the prime effect. It's H-Town. We know what's going on. We know what is up. Hey, Brian, you want to get in on the stream? You get in on the stream, man. Or even Sean, you get in on the stream. Anybody's watching, make sure you like the stream. Let me formally introduce myself. My bad, y'all. It's been a long day. I'm your guy. I'm your boy, Doc Holliday. This is another HBCU Overdrive live show. The H-Town Takeover, Jackson State versus Texas Southern. Make sure you watch the game tomorrow. If you're not able to go down to Houston, it's on ESPN. I think it's on ESPN Plus. 6 o'clock kickoff. Make sure y'all go down there. Make sure you watch the game, man. Watch the game. We need all of the viewers to look at this game. Not only because it's important for Jackson State, but it's also important for Texas Southern because they actually have to win this game to stay relevant in the SWAC West. But I'm gonna tell you about this takeover, man. This takeover is wild. Not only is this game sold out, remember tomorrow is the Astros and the Phillies in game 6. That game will be sold out. So you got 2 games that's going on at pretty much almost at the same time. And if the Astros win, the city is about to go nuts. And Jackson State win, the city's still about to go nuts. And we move on to the next team. Man. I don't know what to say as far as with the weather and everything like that, but heard it's supposed to be raining. Don't know yet. I'm gonna kind of look at the reports tomorrow. I will be. I might do it. I don't know. I might do a watch party. I don't know. If anybody want to join me, because I'll probably get off around about 5. We'll do a watch party. We'll do a watch party on here, man. We can get that going. Just let me know. I put on if you rock with the channel, I put in on YouTube polls who's going to win the game to today, tomorrow, pivotal matchups. So y'all go ahead and cast your votes on the YouTube channel and trying to get everything, trying to see what we can do. Here we go.
What's up, my brother? Not much. Just getting my earphones on and watching. Like you said, I was watching. I still am on one on TV, so I'm going to turn that sound down so I don't get no background noise. Watching the game and just enjoying the football, man. You know what? It's been the season's coming to an end quickly.
Yeah.
And just exciting times in HBCU. What's going on and. I'm really enjoying it, man. Enjoying, talking on your stream. I was talking to DJ. We were talking about the game also, and I was shouting out all the guys that have been helping me out and educating me on HBCUs. Also how to shut my man Doc up. The great things that you're doing, and I see the growth that since you started this. I see the growth that you have obtained, and it's just phenomenal. It's really nice to see, man.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of put this back on my phone.
H-Town Takeover. I like that, Doc. I like that.
Yeah, we done took over. We done took over because of the fact that, look, tomorrow you got the Third Ward Tigers of Texas Southern and the West Side Brothers from Jackson State. So they're playing at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Then you got the Houston Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies playing tomorrow at the same pretty much almost. I think they started like 7:30.
It's around the same time, isn't it?
Almost at the same time. So
and is both in the same vicinity?
What's that?
Both in the same vicinity?
Both of them pretty much almost in the same vicinity. There's my wife.
Traffic's going to be crazy.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Prairie View just scored again. 13-9 right now.
For those I want Prairie View to win anyways.
Man. So man, let's recap from last night, man. I want to recap from last night. I know it's a takeover and everything, y'all. But let's recap from last night. Mississippi Valley getting a first win.
I watched that game. Valley played well. They took advantage of all the interceptions from the quarterback. What's quarter? That was a JSU quarterback, and Now I can
Yep.
see why he was ex. I can see why he was ex quarterback. You know what I mean? Bad decisions. He made a lot of bad decisions. You know, throwing the ball up for grabs and yeah. And listen, Maynard's a humbled man now, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Maynard just, I don't know. Because the way, yes, Miss Karen, yes, Valley. We talking about that Valley team. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get it wrong. They, I like the play calling. The aggressiveness from the play calling was it that had me going like right, like okay. First of all, who's this team that's playing right now, and where was this team at early in the season? Like literally. Um, so we can get back in. We can get to these the stats. Quincy Casey, he still had decent numbers. Not even decent. He had incredible numbers. 24, 38, 366, 2 touchdowns, but 2 costly interceptions. Uh, that is true. That is true, Miss Karen. Um, Collectively as a team that ran for 90 yards on 26 carries with 1 touchdown. And he also scored, Quincy Casey also scored the touchdown for Alabama A&M. So that's 3 scores that he accounts for he accounts for all 3 scores for A&M. Now let's look at Valley. Valley, I always say this, and you already know, I do not, for some reason, Jelani Eason does not pop out on me. But what he did do, he did control the game. Um, he did use his legs also in the game. And two, I mean, the other thing is he limited the turnover. He only had 1 turnover. He had only had the 1 interception last night, but he threw 3 touchdowns. So I feel like the momentum they've been gaining momentum ever since the Bethune game, and we already know they didn't play with a full deck last night. Um, they didn't. They didn't. They didn't play. They didn't play with a full deck last night. So when they I think they was down like 10, 11 players because of the fight that they had with Bethune a couple weeks ago. They didn't play with a full hand, but the aggressiveness that they played with last night, that they started out with, was something that we have not, we had not seen. Like they was up 17-7 at the end of the first half. And I felt, after that, they kind of put their foot on the pedal again in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, they kind of just coasted because I think they knew that they was going to actually win this game, but the way that the play calling was, them running the ball more, I think that helped them more. And that defense for Valley, the defense for Valley was phenomenal. You know, especially when baiting Quincy Casey into throwing interceptions. That was phenomenal. You know, that was phenomenal. And then I think they fumbled. A&M fumbled twice also. So yeah, I mean, they had a pretty good they had a pretty good game last night. And then you had Lindsey with 2 interceptions on Quincy Casey. That was, that kind of put them over the hump. Like And then, like I said, running the ball, Caleb Johnson, 69 yards on the ground. Jelani had 64. Wilson had 50. So like it was a balance. It was a balanced attack. So overall, they ran for 210 yards, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. I like that. That's something that Valley can actually that's something that Valley can actually get themselves, you know what I'm saying, to motivate themselves for. Um, the next game that they play in Southern. They're playing down in Baton Rouge at the Bluff. I don't know if that would be a second win right there, but you never know. You never know. Especially you never know with Southern. We don't really know too much with Southern. We don't know which Southern team you get out there. Like I said, you'll get the team that beat up on Prairie View, or will you get the team that got the goose egg against Jackson State?
Yeah, but Southern this week's playing FAMU, so
They
that
playing
could be
FAMU.
another loss there. I'm taking FAMU for that game anyway. But talking about last night's game, Valley played well. You said they played with a lot of heart, which they did. But at the end, it seemed like Valley. You see, when a team's not used to winning, they're going to do things conducive to try to lose. And there was a couple plays, and thank God that A&M's team was undisciplined. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like the call on the guy for was not what did they call that, targeting. I wasn't really
Targeting.
I wasn't crazy about that call because he was bending down. The ball carrier was bending down. I think it was the quarterback at the time, or no, it was a running back actually,
Mm-hmm.
bending down. And you know what? That's going to happen. So if there's intentional targeting, I understand, but that was, in my opinion, that wasn't intentional. Um, the young man for Mississippi Valley, the quarterback Eason, uh, great. He's a running player. He's a running back playing quarterback, and
Yeah.
the thing is, he played well. You know what I mean? But you see where he's not a great passer because he missed
A
a lot of
lot of
open
open
shots.
throws.
He missed
Yeah.
a lot of open shots because the game wouldn't have been as close as it was.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean? Alabama A&M, they got. There was a couple of nice games that they were using that I was watching. Like Maynard is on offensive minded coach, but you know, we have, who was it? The quarterback there, Casey. You know what I mean?
Quincy
Yeah,
Casey.
he did throw for almost 400 yards, 366. But you know what? Those two interceptions were costly.
Yeah.
They were really costly interceptions. And when you have costly interceptions, when you lose the turnover game, you usually lose the game. And they were costly. But a lot of yards were gained at the end because they were behind. But
They were behind.
the running game goes out the window. So it's pass, pass, pass. And there was a couple. One, I think it was the first interception. It's like, I'm saying, what is he
Mm-hmm.
doing? And then after the second one, he just like heaved it up in the air, like, what I mean. Just, it was like almost like a Hail Mary per se. And yeah, so I guess Alabama A&M has to maybe go and get some more 4 and 5 stars. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this with Alabama A&M. The thing I did not like was the quarterback carousel that Maynard was going through. Um, one game you start, and this is what I heard. Somebody said on Scotty show earlier that Quincy only played 10 quarters. You know what I'm saying? Equivalent of 2 games and 2 games and one half. So he only played 10 quarters, but like you should know who your quarterback is by the time at least the second or third game is. You should know your quarterback's tendencies. You should know their weaknesses, their strengths. You should know everything about your QB by at least the third game of the year. Them playing musical chairs with at that position, it hindered them. And I feel like that's the reason why in certain games that they did not come out victorious. One was the Magic City Classic, which was last week, and if I'm not mistaken, Xavier played the game last week. Make sure.
Yeah, there's supposed to be
Xavier played a
100%.
little bit last week, and Quincy played majority of the game last week.
Yeah,
But
there's no continuity at all.
yeah, so it wasn't no continuity. Like, okay, you beat Grambling. I mean, because they was in shambles for a little bit. You beat Pine Bluff because they don't know what they're doing. they was on, they losing streak, losing they dang on mine. And then you beat Bethune. I mean Bethune because they've been on the road for so long. they was on the road for so long because of a storm and some other things. You basically beat the bottom half of the SWAC East and the SWAC West. But you couldn't pull it out against Bama State. And they have, Bama State got offensive deficiencies out the wazoo, and then Valley, you couldn't pull it off against Valley. Valley, everybody know about Valley. Valley doesn't have everything that they need. So they're scrapping. So they're scrapping for everything that they got. They're scrapping. So, and it kind of started out. To me, it started out. It was starting out bad when Jaron Williams, the QB that transferred in from Miami, he retired because, he wanted to get help. Mental help, which is. I'm not even gonna say anything bad about that because everybody, if you know that you need that help, you need to get that help. But I got the first question of the night. EA, can FAMU get in the playoffs winning out? They go 9-2, but I don't know if they'll be able to get into the playoffs. Blue said this yesterday on the afternoon show in the comments. He's always been saying this for the last couple of weeks. FAMU does not have a win that is like dominant.
They don't have no significant wins at all.
They don't have no significant win that's dominant. So if you're looking at it, like we can go through everything. Let me see, fam. Ooh, this game is looking real good right here, man.
You should have threw that one away.
You should have threw it away. But he's not.
That's one of the things that
he's an athlete playing, but he's an athlete playing quarterback though.
But that's one thing about with the SWAC, besides Shador and say even Andrew Buddy and Musa, the rest of the quarterbacks are really subpar. What I've seen. I'm not trying to criticize them or crap on their parade per se. But you just if you're going to roll out like that, if it's not there right away, you just got to throw it up the end zone.
Yeah. You have to be smart with the ball. So EA, so after the drugging that Jackson State gave FAMU, you beat Albany by 10, and that's a D2 school. Even though it was a tough game, and Albany does play tough, they play tough defense, good tough defense. You should have obliterated them off the map. Alabama A&M, when you play Alabama A&M, I don't know. I feel like y'all was trying to give the game away, and you try to pass the ball. And I feel like, in a sense, you kind of, I want to say stat padding because we don't use stat padding on the show. I mean, you beat Valley by 27. I mean, that's a convincing win. That was I would say that was a dominant win. Now, the two games that we're gonna talk about, you beat South Carolina State, in which you shouldn't. Oh my God, Brian, should they even won that game right there?
But the thing is, that game South Carolina State. But then again, FAMU beat them last year too. So sometimes
last year they beat them sweep.
Yeah,
they beat them sweep last year.
But you know what? That's where we got to give Coach Simmons a lot of credit for, because after the first two games, and not only what's happening on the field, what was happening off the field, their administration was in shambles. And you know what I mean? The band had the getting boxed lunches when they went to North Carolina. That's pathetic. That is pathetic in my opinion. And a coach of an HBCU deals with a lot more stuff than any coach in Power Fives will ever have to deal with. And so, and in that regard, with the non-eligible players and not having a couple of players here, and not a couple, but quite a bit of players the first game and not players second game. So, and that's why with the Albany game, they're starting getting back, because when they played against JSU, where they're just overmatched, even doesn't matter if they were playing all of them in the first game, they would have got that would have been the same result. The result wouldn't have changed, in my opinion. But playing Albany, they're starting getting their legs under them, and they're playing good ball now. They're playing really good ball.
Yeah, the game they should have lost was against Grambling. And when you play
Grambling,
Grambling at the home. Yeah. You supposed Grambling gifted y'all that game. Y'all supposed to lose that game against Grambling. It wasn't supposed to be 20-16. I think it was supposed to be like more than that. I think it was supposed to be like at least two touchdowns.
Yeah, but that's where we're talking about quarterbacking in the SWAC. If Chavez is coming on, he'll be better next year. But that game, he played good, but he didn't play good enough to beat a team that he should have beat.
Right. I'm gonna tell you like this, EA. In order for y'all to get into the playoffs, y'all have to beat the brakes off of Southern. You got to destroy Alabama State, and you damn sure you can't lose against Bethune in the Florida Classic. You can't. You have to dominate the last 3 games on the season.
Yeah. They got to run the table and dominate.
You got to run the table, but you got to beat them. You got to beat them soundly. You cannot give these teams an inch. It's just like if the FCS playoffs is basically the little brother of the BCS. Y'all, what the BCS was. They went by style points. They went by, computer rankings, and then human rankings and all this other stuff like that. But part of it was like, how bad do you beat a team? How bad do you beat a team? Like some of those teams that you saw back in the day when the BCS was around, they had to beat a team like about 40 or 50 points. That's why y'all saw the University of Miami back in when they won their last national championship, they was beating dudes by 30 or 40 points. And they was dominant in what they, in the beatdowns that they gave. You have to be in that type of mindset, that type of mind frame. Like, you got to beat these dudes. You got to beat them like bad. You got to beat them so bad. You got to beat them to the point where you feel like they want to fight you on the field. That's the type of beating that you're supposed to give a team that is less than. Like beating Arkansas Pine Bluff by 21, that's cool. But I'm thinking like you be like, if you score like 50 points, 50, if it was like 49-6 or 56-6, then I'm like, okay, you beat the brakes off of them. Now, but I would see the momentum going. You have to win the last three. You have to win out the last three games, and you have to dominate. The way that this team, the way the team is put together, you're last in the SWAC in rushing offense. Your quarterback only trusts one receiver. Your defense only plays a four-man. It plays a four-man front, but they don't bring any type of blitz or anything. Any type of exotic blitz or stunts or they don't bring anything out to the table. They just put them out there and like, we're gonna beat you on the line, and then everybody else is gonna be covered because they don't want to get beat. So, to me, I feel like when it comes to the defensive coordinator, they probably need to change the defensive coordinator. And when it comes to the offensive coordinator, oh my God, you gotta get somebody that wants to run the ball.
Doesn't Willie Simmons call a play for FAMU?
In certain situations he does.
Yeah, but their defensive coordinator has no imagination whatsoever.
He has no imagination whatsoever. Like, you look at some of these defenses that's out here, like, say for example, Valley. Valley's defense, we all know Valley is not that good overall, but their defense is unreal. Like, their defensive front is unreal. Their linebackers float to the ball. That's the reason why they can actually stay in games instead of, instead of being blown out, because the defense keeps them into games. They give them reasonable field position for the offense. It's always the offense that suffers because they can't move the ball. Now, I wouldn't say that it's subpar. It's just the fact that you don't have. I won't say that the SWAC is subpar. I'm saying is this: you don't have a dominant win on your schedule. Now, you have a good game. You had a good game against North Carolina, and I didn't realize. I didn't even know North Carolina even held back against y'all. And then you got the doors blown off of you by Jackson State, albeit that you were missing some key players on the team. But after those two losses right there, you going on your 6-game winning streak, you do not have a convincing win. You do not have a win to where I could say, yeah, man, they was dominating from the start of the game to the end of the game. That's what I don't see on FAMU's schedule. Like I said, when you play Southern Saturday, you have to beat the brakes off of Southern. You have to destroy Southern. You got to make them feel like that 35 that goose egg that they put up at Jackson. You got to make them feel it again. That's how dominant that FAMU has to be. That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing. Let's just put it like this: if we would have lost the first game of the season against FAMU, and Jackson State goes all the way through, they go all the way through, dominate everybody. We would get the at-large bid for the playoffs because of what we have on what we did on our schedule.
And plus, everybody wants to see JSU.
First of all, I'm gonna ask, sir, nobody's not ducking North Dakota State. First of all, I understand that North Carolina A&T went up to North Dakota. They went up to North Dakota to play them. Yeah, they got drugged. And nobody's ducking North Dakota State. They in their own little world. in Fresno State. Who the hell want to play Fresno State? Dude, Fresno State is an FBS school, sir. Who in the hell wants to play Fresno State? Why would I want to go all the way to freaking California to go play Fresno State?
They're always welcome at the vet.
But they're not going to come because it's an FBS school. FBS don't never go to an FCS school.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. Hold on, y'all.
So I'll just continue here for North Dakota to that want to play. JSU's not ducking anybody. It's just the finest. You got to understand the business element of the situation here. To go up to North Dakota for what? If North Dakota comes to Jackson State, you're playing in front of 60,000 fans. JSU gets redeems a lot of money in their coffers. It's a better financial situation. So if it's finance, if it has no finance, then it's a nuisance to play that game. So the thing is, if they go, there's no reasoning why to go to North Dakota State. It's just not feasible, and it's just not profitable. And if it's not profitable, you don't go.
And North Dakota State has money because of the simple fact that they have donors that give to the program. So,
but they don't have a stadium that has 60,000 either.
Yeah, they don't have a stadium that got 60,000, but they got a fan base that's wild.
Jesus. Oh, that was a bad play. Oh, they have a great fan base. I'm not saying anything on the fan base, but I'm just saying for the financial implications, it makes no sense whatsoever for Jackson State to go up to North Dakota. No, none whatsoever.
That's right. It doesn't make no sense. Unless you paying for it, yeah, it don't make no sense for us.
Oh, it's got to. Well, if you figure if they came to Jackson State, you're just speaking hypothetical now. If they came to Jackson State, you draw 60,000 fans at say $40 a ticket. That's a lot more money than that would be coming to Jackson State than to go up to North Dakota and North Dakota give them $1 million.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you just like this: we ain't going up there.
Yeah, no,
we're not going up there. We are fine where we at. We'll play if we got to do out of conference. We'll play out of conference teams near us. We don't have to go up there to play a North Dakota State or South Dakota State or Montana State. We don't have to do all that. We could play strong teams from like the SoCon, the Big South, the CAA, of course, the OVC because Tennessee State's there. The Southland, the WAC, the ASUN. We are good enough to play teams like that. We can even play some teams from the Pioneer League. But with the Missouri Valley Football Conference, we're not worried about that. We're not worried about that. The closest team we'll probably play from that conference is Missouri State, because it's feasible. Excuse me, it's feasible with our with our travel. It's not that far from Missouri from Mississippi to Missouri. Is not that far. So let's get that out of let's get that out of everybody's mind, out of everybody's thought process.
Yeah, take that out of the ether.
About the North Dakota State. They're doing what they're doing in their conference.
Aren't they playing Tennessee State next year? Or the year after? Or it's the year after? Home and home. Tennessee.
Notre Dame?
No, Notre Dame's playing the next year, but North Dakota, I thought they're having they scheduled
24.
24, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we're playing for the MEAC Challenge, we're playing South Carolina, and we're playing also Texas
State. So we'll be in San Marcos.
Yeah.
Which is number like a 4.5 hour drive for us. For me. What up, T? So, but like I said, FAMU just gotta be able to beat everybody and beat the last 3 teams on their schedule and beat them soundly. That's it. That's all you have to do. There's no gimmicks. There's nothing like that. And then they'll look at your resume and basically say, "Oh, y'all are the at-large team." But Blue also said that you got teams in the SoCon that are dominant, like 4 teams in the SoCon that's dominant, like your Furman, your Mercer. I forgot who else he said yesterday. Is it Charleston Southern, I think? Ooh. But you got teams in the SoCon that are so good that somebody's gonna take a couple of those bids away.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah, I understand. I mean, understandably so. I never gave y'all a chance to beat North Carolina, and I sure never gave y'all a chance to beat Jackson State. Even with y'all going through the things that y'all going through. Some of those things some of those things not could have been avoided by the school. And the reason why I say that is because it was the school's idea to only have one compliance officer. And there's nothing that there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, it is what it is. So on that note, I would go back to the school president and say, hey, y'all need to focus on athletics too. I know you want to focus on the academics, which is cool. I mean, everybody's there to get an education, point blank. I mean, that's all I can say. But Alcorn just scored. Alcorn just scored. I think that's Javante Leatherwood. Oh my goodness. He put his pass down. I didn't even know. Here's the funny thing. I didn't even know that North Carolina was the number 1 team in the ACC. I didn't even know that. That lets you know how much I've been watching FBS football. Well, I take that they're the second best team in the ACC because Clemson is still undefeated. So, I want to see who they played next. Who they got left? They got to play Virginia, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, and the rival North Carolina State. Really, in reality, they could have took that loss to Appalachian State early in the season too. Sir, I'm gonna let you know that he ain't going to Florida State. They don't want him at Florida State. Brian, hand him a lightweight.
Oh my God. Okay, put it this way. They had an opportunity to get Dion. He interviewed at Florida State. They didn't want him. Bottom line, he got Travis to come to Jackson State. They burned his, not the university, but fans burned his shirt. And you know what? It wasn't any statements by Florida State alumni, or the school putting out a statement that no, you know what, this shouldn't be done, because they could have still kept that that line of not line only line of communication, but that goodwill still there, and they get it. And the bottom line is this: Dion can go to Florida State, which is his alma mater, but the thing is, they're always going to think about Bobby Bowden. He can go to any university in the Power Five, but they're never going to think about the his legacy will never ever be as big as it is and will be with JSU. Simple and
Now,
period.
now I will say this: you brought up just some. You brought up somebody nobody never really said anything about. You brought up Bobby Bowden. If Bobby Bowden was alive right now and Dion was coaching, Bobby Bowden would have told all of Florida State to kiss his ass. Dion's gonna be the next head coach because I remember that when before he passed away, before he got he stepped down, he had Jimbo Fisher as the coach in waiting. Everybody know how that turned out. Yes, he won a national championship, but after it was afterwards what he did to the program. But if Bobby Bowden was still alive, Bobby Bowden would have told Florida State, "Kiss my ass." Dion needs to be the next head coach of this team. Unfortunately, he passed away, and everybody knows what happened after that. So,
And the alumni of all these Power Fives are not going to let Dion do what Dion does. You know what I mean? For the simple reason, he's got kind of a free reign at JSU. He works well with Ashley Robinson. They work well together as a tandem, and he's doing the things that he says, and I'm a firm believer that God called him to do. So when you see, a lot of times people just don't listen what people say. They hear what they want to hear, and the thing is that he also said, "Yes, I will take these interviews. I'd be a fool not to." But he also said that money's not going to change his lifestyle. Only thing he wants is the betterment of his assistant coaches.
mm-hmm.
So we have to look at that aspect. He's recruiting. Now, how could he get a guy like Travis Hunter to say, listen, I want you to make a difference here with HBCUs, and all of a sudden he gets up and leaves before he finishes his tenure at HBCU? Yeah, I know people are going to say, well, he can transfer along with Dion. But the thing is, that's not the plan and that's not the purpose for having it. If you're going to tell somebody you want them to be a part of history, the changing of history, changing of the culture and
Yep.
stuff like that, you can't just run and jump over to a Power Five. He can do what he wants to do. He's his own man. Don't get me wrong, but it was all the validity and everything that he says would become null and void, because you know what? They're going to say, you know what? I told you so, this, and that. So they're going to just say it's a crock. So it's not only for that, it's for his legacy. And I'm a firm believer he's a man. He is a man of faith. He has proven it over and over again, especially when the Southern players did that video. Other coaches would have said, forget about that. I ain't trying to help them. But they didn't say, yeah, I still try to help him. So he tells you where his heart is. So the bottom
Mm-hmm.
line is, if no, he's not going to be like we said. He's not going to be like an Eddie Robinson or other coaches that stayed for 50 and 30, 40 years, like Bobby Bowden and other coaches in different conferences. If Dion stays there 10 years, count your blessings.
Yeah. Yeah, weird thing about it. But I'm gonna say Bobby Bowden he had that pull at Florida State. Even before he even passed away, he still had pull at Florida State. If he didn't have pull at Florida State, not Mickey Andrews, but Jimbo Fisher would not even been the head coach of the team. But he had that type of pull. Now, it was different from when like Joe Paterno was at Penn State. That's different. Because everybody knew what happened with what was going on at Penn State, or what was not being brought to attention until later on down the line. But I'm just saying like this. Hold on, I'm gonna go to the 100 yard Talk about what's in North Dakota. Would I have to take a wagon train to the stadium, or they going to sell bison burgers out the tailgate of the wagons? I have many questions, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this. I've seen you kind of have to. Oh my god, throw the ball away. Um, hey, he done lost my damn train of thought because he did this
You talking about
bonehead
the?
play.
He's talking about the comment of the guy with the bison burgers and all that.
Oh yeah, like now that the atmosphere in North Dakota State is A1. Like even though they don't have a 60,000 seat stadium, they got a dome that puts in like 22,000 people in there, and they sell out pretty much every game, every home game. So, but I don't look. I keep saying this. I want to keep saying this. We don't have to go up to North Dakota State. We don't. For what? It's not doing anything for us because the SWAC and the MEAX goal is to get to the Celebration Bowl. That's it and that's all. Like North Dakota State can have their prestige. They could go to they could go to the playoffs and do everything in the playoffs. But our main goal is the Celebration Bowl. Now, if we don't get a Celebration Bowl, do we get that automatic, we get that at large bid? Possibly so. Possibly so. But our main focus is the Celebration Bowl. Oh my God, he just fumbled the ball. Damn. Somebody wants to win this game. Who wants to win this game? Come on. Prairie, y'all playing not to win this game. Made me want to go watch high school football. So I don't even know who's winning. Just because the bonehead plays like that. So y'all make sure y'all go check out the polls I put in on YouTube about certain games I got that's most certain games that's of importance. Who you think will win? Cast your vote. I'll pretty much will tally up the votes after tomorrow night after the game. Let me see what's up. I've been watching, been trying to look at college football, black college football. So that's all I've been watching. It's funny. I have not. I'm gonna tell y'all. I literally have not watched FBS football. I have not watched Power 5 football this year.
The only game I think that I didn't catch all of it was Texas and Alabama at the beginning of the year. Texas should have won that game, and that's the only. I think I caught the last. This maybe the second half, the second half I caught. That's the only Power 5 game that I watched.
I take that back. I did watch a little bit of the Tennessee Alabama game. Because yes, I'm low key. I'm a Volunteers fan, so don't beat me up. Some of these scores from last night, God dang, they could beat some of these schools. They could beat some of these schools in college. But yeah, man, let's get back to Man, look, we're gonna get back to the Houston Takeover, y'all, because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, y'all. It's the Houston Takeover. So, um, as far as the game goes tomorrow, all we need to do, all Jackson State needs to do is don't beat yourself. Don't beat yourself and don't turn the ball over to the other team. Do not bait yourself. Do not get yourself baited with trying to be enamored with the pass. Because like I said, these guys are ball hawks. They are ball hawks.
And just wish for the game tomorrow. Start off with the run. Pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock. Set up for the pass.
Yeah,
You
and
know, pound
I
the
agree.
rock
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. If
because
I'm Barcelona, I'm running the ball with I'm running the ball with Sevion.
you're getting a heavy dose of Wilkerson tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And the reason we say that is because not saying that you be scared of the DBs for Texas Southern, but like you gonna have to make them tackle. Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. If Prairie let Alcorn come back and win this game, they don't deserve to win the West.
Well, they missed that point after two on the kick, so they would have been up 17-16. So they would have had
Yeah,
to
but
force them to go for a 2-pointer, and then afterwards just bad play calling on Prairie because they had the ball and you know what I mean. The quarterback getting sacked and yeah, and that's what goes back to what I said at the beginning. Bad quarterback play.
mm-hmm.
This game looked like it's fixing to go to overtime.
I don't even know.
They seem like they
Make him
can't
throw
tackle
the
the
ball.
Prairie.
Was that?
They seem like they can't tackle. Got a bang.
Oh man, you got you ahead of me.
Uh,
Oh my God,
you see that?
Jesus.
But that's where you try to go for a strip sack.
Yeah.
But it's probably tougher on that angle because you're face to face. It's easier coming from the backside where you can pound down on the ball and still have your hand on the man, right?
Yeah. That was a
So
good.
getting back to
That
the
was a good blitz. That was a good call for a blitz right there, though. Too.
oh, they needed that.
They needed that. They needed that because Alcorn would get ready to drive down their throat with the run. I'm trying to figure out where's Aaron Allen. Why he's not playing tonight? Is he injured or not? We don't know. Let's go back to Mississippi Valley. Mississippi Valley, they can make some noise with the last couple of games of the season. They do got Prairie View's number because they did beat them last year at the end of the year. So I probably see them doing it again this year. And then it would make it very interesting about who wins the West.
Well, I want Prairie to win the West.
That would be a good. That still would be a good matchup.
Oh, look at look at him go. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. That was a direct snap to the running back. See, that's what I don't like. You run the ball, you got good yardage on the run. Throw the ball. Throw it short. You gotta mix it up because they playing for the run.
But they have a lot of. They were playing three guys on rushing and they had 8 guys back. So, but they're if you 5 guys can't block 3, there's something wrong.
I mean,
and what they're looking for too is if you do, you got to be calculated when you make your pass because if you do throw a pass and it's incomplete, you're stopping the clock. So they're looking at that perspective too, right?
Yep, I get you, EA. Yes, it's questionable play calling from the offensive coordinators. I agree with you on that. Why you throw a go pattern? You run the ball effectively. I mean, but what I'm saying is, I'm Prairie View, and I'm trying to drive down the field to actually at least kick a field goal to win the game. Why don't we throw the ball short? Get you some short, you know what I'm saying, like short outs or something like that. To at least keep the defense guessing. Because if you're running the ball, man, they're pinning themselves. They're gonna bring blitz. They're gonna bring the pressure. What the hell? What the hell? Why you didn't just go to the right? Oh my God. Y'all, the funny thing is, my mom's friend is the quarterback's the grandmother. That's her grandson. I told her, ask her, I'm like, what were you doing? The missus said, share the stream, y'all. Make sure y'all share the stream. Do you feel like this game right here, Brian, that Alcorn not giving up on Coach McNair?
I think Coach McNair's done a great job this year for everything that's gone on with that program. So for it's easy to to try to fire somebody. You know what I mean? That's because you can't get rid of all the players. But I would give him another year for sure.
No, you right. It look like they about to play for overtime.
But you know what? We can look at anybody in the West. If technically, besides maybe Texas Southern, which got a very young team that's playing, really well, beating some really good teams, and and they're still young, and they're talking about firing that coach. So, anybody in the West besides Hugh Jackson, that you know what I mean, and there were talks maybe should let go Hugh after a year. So anybody in the West, the coaches, everybody in the West, any coach could be eligible for a pink slip. But I think they should keep. You got a good coach in McNair. I like him.
That's royalty, y'all.
Yeah.
That is royalty. EA talking about move fam to the West. Now y'all stay in the East. Y'all dominate the East. I'd rather Jack State move to the West. we destroy everybody in the West, and y'all can come up in the East, and we'll meet. We'll meet in between. So, I feel like that. Move Jackson State to the West. Let's just say it like this: if Jackson State, if Tennessee State comes into the SWAC, hold on. CJ Bowler. Wow.
Did you see that, Doc? They
What?
made the pass. They made the pass. They're at the 50, and they run up and they down the ball. I don't understand that. You should always have when you're you're in your 2-minute warning. You definitely should have you have 2 plays at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're giving the defense a chance to rest, and it's set up.
Yeah, they playing for overtime.
Nike now Nike. No, I just seen yes, but Nike suspended their
Kyrie.
relation with Kyrie. Yeah.
Yep.
They want that poor boy to kiss the ring.
I'm gonna just tell you just like this. There's certain people you don't there's certain people you don't talk about. And Jewish people is one of them.
But the thing is, he didn't talk about him. That's the thing.
I mean, yeah, he did talk about him.
Put it this way. Put it this way, Doc.
Actual.
If I put up on my Twitter account just a picture of a restaurant, you know what I mean? Or a restaurant, anyways, a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I don't say nothing about the restaurant. So you say, oh, let me go check it out. You go to eat at the restaurant. The food is no good. Is that my fault?
No.
There you go.
No.
And how many times do you want? First of all, I'm going to make a disclaimer. My views is totally of mine. Has nothing to do with Doc Holly and HBCU Overdrive.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is this: my grandmother was half Jewish, and I understand, you know what I mean, about anti-Semitism and stuff, and go on as far as like that. Put that aside. The guy, and I'm not a Kyrie Irving fan, but the thing is this: he didn't apologize the way they wanted him to apologize. So what they do is they castrate you. So you know what I mean? You get ostracized for the way that you don't apologize. He says, I have I have no qualms with any group of people, religion, whatever. He says, how could I be anti-Semite when I know who I am? But here it goes. You got all these guys, the NBA Players Association.
But see, that's the crazy thing. He's a part of the NBA. He's a part of the Players Association. I think he's like the vice president.
He was. I don't think he is no anymore. He was.
Okay.
He was. He was when it was time during the bubble, but I don't think he is anymore. But you look at where's their same energy going after Jeff Bezos, saying things about Jeff Bezos that his company put that on his profiting by having this video. Where's the same energy with Joe Tsai that supported the Chinese government? They're doing all kinds of genocide over in China with the Buddhists. Where's the same energy, for other things that's going on? So you can say or not say, but their presumption they're taking your presumption of your thought process, which you haven't said anything. But when you say, oh, well, that apology is not good enough to me. No, but you know what? The thing is, now I suspend you 5 games.
I feel like with Kyrie Irving, and somebody like between the game and hoop jargon, they can probably attest for this. They'll probably know a little bit more about it because those my dudes, they are former basketball players. And the crazy thing is I went to school with both of them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I went to school with between the game, both of them. Hoop Jargon played on the squad. Both of them played on the squad at Stephen F. Austin. And but I left after, between the game, he graduated, and then I left after that. Okay. But they both was on the squad. But my thing about this is they're going to overtime. My thing about this is Kyrie already has a track record with the Brooklyn Nets about certain things that he, either has said or has done. Yeah, because remember, he didn't want to get. And it was his choice, but he didn't want to get the vaccine for COVID. And I think he was out at a party, and last season he was at. Last season he was at a party, and I think he caught COVID.
But Kyrie, 100%. Kyrie hasn't helped himself in saying that
he hasn't helped himself anything.
How the Earth is flat and stuff like that. 100%. But you know what? If it comes down to choice, getting the vaccine or not, that's still his personal choice. You know what I mean? Me and my son have that same thing. He believes one thing, I believe another thing. So the thing is this, though. By him posting this thing, never comment. This is just my point of view. Never commented on it one way or the other, and said, yes, there's certain parts in there that I don't agree with. So if the media does not ask him about this and continue asking about it, I wouldn't even know what was going on as far as this. So the media has actually put more spotlight on that video than Kyrie did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's I don't know.
But you see one thing from my experience in life, and the thing is this: it's the precedent now. So anybody says anything or does anything, you know what? Now they can just say, okay, you know what? That's detrimental to the team. We can suspend you. So
but we talking about the Brooklyn Nets. They was already a mess.
Oh, they're a mess. They're a mess. They're a total
already a mess.
And now watch this firestorm. You see, this is. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but now they're going to hire Udoka. This is a great way now. You know what I mean? This is great coverage for it right now because you have the Kyrie storm. Now you can slide in Udoka, where there's going to be less fanfare as far as criticism, as far as the hiring of this guy. ESPN, the people that work for there, most of them. So how do they want to conflate certain things? Is getting somebody that looks like you and I talking about somebody bad in a bad light against that looks like you and I. That's what they do. You got Charles Barkley talking, he's an idiot, this and that. Charles Barkley, man, if he wasn't a basketball player, he'd be a garbage man somewhere in Alabama.
Well, I'll say it like this. With the hiring of Udoka, that tells me a lot. Because in a sense, he was already on the coaching staff when KD and Kyrie went to the front office and demanded that they get rid of Kenny Atkinson. Why get rid of him? He was a good coach.
Very good coach.
He's a very good coach. And not only did you get rid of him, and he sent, they went to the playoffs, but dude, you hired Steve Nash. And Udoka was already on the damn coaching staff. Steve Nash does not have no type of coaching experience, and you hire him anyway. And then the thing was that Kyrie endorsed it. Kyrie and KD endorsed it.
But
I
you
don't
see,
care
that
what
happened.
anybody say that KD didn't endorse it. No, you had to rock with that.
Oh, KD
Like
definitely, because don't forget, Steve Nash was in Golden State as an advisor.
As an
So
advisor,
you know what I mean.
he wasn't
So
even
their association was there.
he
You can't
wasn't even
hire a
the
coach.
coach.
No.
At least I'm gonna tell you like this. At least Steve Kerr got his chops in as a GM and as a coach, as an assistant coach.
Was he an assistant coach, or did he just come from the booth also?
He came from the booth, but he was a GM for the Suns, and then he came an assistant coach. Because remember, he was under Greg Popovich. Oh my God, touchdown. Oh. I thought it was a touchdown. But just think though, Steve Kerr, got his degree in coaching through Greg Popovich. The same thing with Ime. Ime got his same degree in coaching through Greg Popovich. Like, where does that compute? Because if you fire Kenny Atkinson, and he ain't got a job yet, which I'm mad about that.
Kenny Atkinson
and there's certain coaches that have not gotten a job since yet.
But he's assistant coach in Golden State. Kenny Atkinson.
He's an assistant coach now.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what? He about to be a head coach again.
Because he was there last year, right? And he was there last year, and he was supposed to get the Charlotte job. He took the Charlotte job, then he refused, then he changed his mind and stayed in Golden State.
Well, I put it like this. He got coaching experience. He's an assistant coach. Guess what? He's gonna be a head coach again just because he's on the staff at Golden State. Just look at, and it's funny. Look at Greg Popovich's coaching tree. Udoka, head coach, right? You got Becky Hammond. She the head coach of the the Las Vegas Aces. Did they win the chip this season? I think they did.
Yeah, they did win the chip.
They did win the chip.
She'll be the first woman. She'll be the first woman NBA coach.
Yes, which she should have been. She should have been like a couple of years ago. Like literally. Like Mike Brown under Pop. If Tim wanted to be serious about coaching, hell, Tim Duncan. Like Avery Johnson under Pop. Like you got dudes out there, huh?
He dropped the ball.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's switch. Let's hold off on the basketball. Oh my God. Prairie View. Dude, that was a touchdown.
That reminds me of the Mike Evans, Tom Brady, Mike Evans a couple weeks ago.
What's that?
That reminds me of Tom Brady to Mike Evans, remember?
Mike Evans. Oh my God. That was an easy touchdown. Dude was not catching you. And that was a perfectly thrown ball too. Man, come on now. You can't get that back. Now they Yes, Rico. Yes. Rico. Why EA? Why the hell? Why the fuck open? You got a gift. That was the early Christmas gift right there. Now they head ain't in it because he dropped the damn ball. Oh. Lord Jesus, they're not winning this game tonight.
No, they blew it.
They're not
That was
winning
a
this game
that was
tonight.
a, that was a great play call too.
I'm already gonna hear GA. I'm already gonna hear GSPN. G. I'm already gonna hear him. Oh my God! You know what? If I was the quarterback, I would be highly pissed. Like literally.
That was a great play call. That was a great play call.
Yes, threw him off target, threw him off. Oh my God.
Now the thing is now with Prairie View, it's a four down situation here. Don't try to get
Yep.
it all one. If the play's there, but if not, you know what I mean. Get as close so you get a good down and distance. Look at him.
Yeah.
See, look, Jesus, terrible. I'm telling you, man, the quarterback plays awful.
Oh my God. What the hell? Might be SU people in SU getting on the road now to Tallahassee. Lord. No pocket awareness.
None whatsoever.
Whatsoever. No pocket awareness. Now that is the definition of an athlete playing quarterback. It's game. It's game.
Yeah. What was you throwing?
God dog it.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on.
Over with that mess. So what is? Let me look at it now.
Okay, y'all see it, man. Look.
So now Prairie View's 4-2 in the conference.
4-2 in the
Texas.
conference.
So you know what? That FAMU Southern game is really huge right now.
It's really huge now. EA. Now you can talk your noise. Because y'all got to beat the brakes off of Southern. Ain't no way in the world.
And we're really going to see what kind of team, what kind of heart Southern has. You know, what kind of heart they have now after getting mollywopped last week.
I think they'll bounce back. They'll bounce back.
Well, but their running back's out. He's hurt.
I mean, shit, they got two more. They got two more running backs.
No, but the one the one that got the 51 yards. Yeah, I think he's.
I had to eat my dinner, y'all. Man. But let's man look. Let's look at the West. Let's look at the West, y'all. Um. All right. So Prairie View is in a three-way. Will be in a tie. Let's just say, and I'm not gonna say that Texas Southern beat Jackson State. We already know that's what happened.
Yeah. But this is a reason for Jackson State really to, well, they're focused anyway, so I'm not even going to put that there. But they're going to stand. You know what I mean? That team's going to. They're hungry dogs. You know, they're hungry.
So now it's going to be like Texas Southern got something to play for.
Oh yeah, you're right there, brother.
He said EA said he about to get on the road from South Florida. The game just got intense. It did get intense. It did get intense. Now, Texas Southern and Southern sits tied for second with 3 at 3-2.
Yeah. Alcorn's 3-3.
And Alcorn is 3-3. Grambling and UAPB, they kind of cancel each other out unless they get, Grambling can get another division win, which I feel like they might be able to do. It all depends. But now now I'm about to see come on, y'all. Make sure y'all like the stream and comment and become a member, y'all. So this game that just came off, that just went off, it changes the whole dynamics of the West. Even though Prairie View still sits in the driver's seat in for the Western Division crown. Okay. Now, who do Prairie View have tiebreakers over? They beat Texas. They beat TSU in the beginning of the season. What up, Val? What's going on, Val? And I know you watched that game, man. So you might well just go ahead and chime in with your opinion, bro. So Prairie View got a win over TSU. They got a win over Grambling. I think had they played Pine Bluff, they got to win over Pine Bluff. Hold on. So in the West, they got wins over Grambling, Texas Southern, and that's it. Those are the two teams that they beat in the West. But they did get conference wins against Alabama State, so that counts against their conference record. And Bethune, which counts against on a conference record. So now Alcorn beats Prairie View today. They lost to Southern a couple weeks ago. So that's the only two teams that they lost to. Now, hold on. What up, David? EA, not all conference games count. Not all of them count. Not all of them count. I know the game, example game we played against Grambling for Jackson State, we played against Grambling. They didn't count for a conference game because we treated that as a out of conference game right there. Of course, FAMU, we beat them. Alabama State, we won. Mississippi Valley, we won. Southern, it was crosstown rival. It was a rival game. We won that game. So we win this game. That count the winning game tomorrow against TSU. That counts as a conference game. Plus, we don't play Pine Bluff, so that was not on our schedule. It's not on our schedule. So next year we'll play Pine Bluff on the schedule next year. Prairie View, we'll play them also on the schedule next year. Trying to figure out who else.
But the good thing is, just looking, Prairie View beat Southern, so you know what I mean. If they
Southern beat the brakes off of Prairie View
this year. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's last. I'm looking at last year's. You're right. Sorry about
Prairie View won the fight. Southern won the war.
Yeah. Good analogy. That was last year's. I was looking at there.
Well, Southern FAMU game might count, and it let's just say it basically if FAMU win, that's technically a conference. That's technically a conference. That's a conference win. I should go on the SWAC. I'm gonna go on the SWAC page, and I wanted to see what they define as. I want to see what they define as a conference win. I mean, like, I'm looking at championship tiebreaker policy. If it was, so let's just say all this ends in a tie in the West, y'all. Hey, Russell, look, bro, I've been at work for 8 hours. I'm hungry. You missed it. If you ain't seen it, you missed it. Hell, I had a big old bowl of chili and I was eating it while I'm on air. Let's just say all these teams in the West is tied up, y'all. So head-to-head competition between the two tied teams, that's how you determine the tiebreaker. Records of the tied teams within the division, head-to-head competition versus the team within the division with the best overall divisional and non-divisional conference record and proceeding through the division. Multiple ties within the division will be broken from first to last. Another one will be overall record versus non-division teams. Another one is combined record versus all common non-divisional teams. Man. The last thing they have is a coin flip.
Let David know it's the West, not the East.
Yeah, David, it's the East. No, but he's right. If Southern wins out and Prairie View wins out, Southern wins the East because Prairie View they Southern beat Prairie View.
No, but they're in the West.
No, I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Russell is kind of like the SWAC West is kind of like the MEAC. Everybody's beating each other up. Because the SWAC East, you already know who's gonna win that division. It's Jackson State. So that is so. Like I said, the game for Southern, the game against FAMU is so important. Y'all have to win that game tomorrow.
And I think if Jackson State wins tomorrow, they officially won the East.
Well, yeah, Jackson State wins tomorrow, and somebody else. Southern beats FAMU tomorrow. Southern beats FAMU tomorrow. We win the East because FAMU still had that one loss against us.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking that 2 games, but that first game wasn't a conference game.
Miak Mike, what's up, Miak Mike? Florida, like I said, Florida A&M should run the table, but and I like I said, I didn't know that North Carolina was number 5, 6 team in the country in the Power 5. So I didn't even know that. So my whole thing is, did UNC hold out on that game, or was they, you know what I'm saying, or was they playing the game that they've been playing?
Want to shout out Miak Mike for always tuning in. Yeah, Miak, I was reading your comments on the other watching the game, and actually you're 100% right. They need better quarterback play. It's atrocious.
Y'all know he about to get on here, man.
Yeah.
Bro, you should get on the stream, man, and let's talk some football. I'm about to send Miak Mike an invite.
Miak Mike likes writing. He don't like talking. He talks on through his iPad or the instrument that he's used.
Let's see, Southern said Southern going to get blown out to Florida A&M. This game shouldn't be close at all. Southern is not a good team at all. Point blank, simple. Southern, you lose to FAMU, it don't mean nothing in the West title. That is true, Russ. That is true. It don't mean nothing. It just means that y'all just playing.
Also, it doesn't count as conference because they're playing out of conference.
I got your retro. I'm trying. I asked. Hey, me and Mike. If you see the link, just click on it, man. I want to hear your take.
And me, Mike, what's the point spreads for tomorrow's games? Because I know he knows that.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna add. I'm gonna see what these.
Yeah. So, guys, that you're on here, why don't you put your predictions in for tomorrow's game while we're maybe waiting or anticipating if Mike comes on and wants to chat with the doc.
Yeah, come on now, chat with your boy. Come on,
No, I didn't think Alcorn was a better team tonight. I think PV. You know what? You know what? Here's what I think personally. I was watching the game, and the webs and flows of the game. Alcorn started out well, then PV came back, and then after PV started taking over the game, but then there's questionable play calling. The questionable play calling, the quarterback not throwing the ball, taking sacks. When you don't have good quarterback play, you're going to get these kind of results. Just look at it. Missed the point after, so it ends up coming back and hurting them because they would have been up because Alcorn would have had to go for 2. Would they have gotten 2? Who knows? But I just don't like the play call. They had an opportunity. PV had an opportunity to win, and Alcorn, wanted it a little bit more than them, so they deserved the win.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, it was bad. Okay. All right. Hey, Retro, if you want to get in the chat, you get in the chat, man. I mean, if you want to get on the stream, I put the link up there so you can get on there. Go on and say y'all can come in, call in, and say your piece.
Yeah. Yeah, Vel,
I mean, that would be more like my call-in show.
yeah, Vel, they did have a couple of drop passes, especially in the overtime. That was a great
Oh
play
my
call.
God.
And the guy, it couldn't hit him in a better place, his hands, But that was, you see, but that's football, though. Football, you have to complete the play first before you go on and go, continue to play. You know what? You do A, then you do B. He was already running, starting towards end zone before he caught the ball. And you're always taught, look the ball into your hands, then go.
Man, I would have been just like this.
That poor guy won't sleep.
I would have been just like this. If I'm Bubba McDowell, I'll be just like this. You.
But you know what? Unfortunately, that's not the good part about it. And here's where a coach comes in and really uses his skills as a coach, because that's not the play that lost them the game. That was a play to continue to keep the game going, because the game should have never got to overtime.
The play was to continue to keep the game going.
Yeah.
Now,
but then again, they missed a point after. Who says that doesn't happen? So we're saying that that they would have got it. You know what I mean? As far as that, but that play would have continued the game. But the thing is, in my opinion, they should have had the game won before overtime.
Oh, stop! That's who in the chat. Oh, I thought he want to get in. He want to get in. I'm about to say, did me and Mike get up in there? I seen it for a second. Anybody want to get in and state their case, man? And then we can get on to the takeover. My Astros is winning tomorrow. Just letting everybody know. My Astros is winning tomorrow.
Dr. Series should have been over already.
It should have. Mike!
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Man. Oh, man, hanging in there.
So what do you think, bro? Come on. Because I know you look, we all go up in there because you on Twitter with us and you on, what I'm saying, you on Scotty Page, you on Blue. We all, even with Kobe. Like, what is your take about tonight's game? And give me your take for tomorrow's game.
Oh, I think Alcorn was resilient tonight, man, to pull off that upset. But I think just the quarterback play, man. Most of these teams in the SWAC and MEAC just have to up their level of quarterback play, and I think the games will be a lot better. But I think FAMU is going to blow Southern out. I don't think it's going to be much of a game. I got the game probably around 28-7. It should be an easy one for FAMU, and I think FAMU should run the table for the rest of the season.
Do you think they'll get that third at large bid from the SWAC?
It's going to be tough. I'm pulling for them. I really want to see them pull it out and make the playoffs, but it's going to be tough. I mean, them and North Carolina Central are in the same position, where they're right on the bubble, and it depends on the pretty much the pollsters if they're going to get in or not. But I think FAMU is a thorough team. I would say for FAMU, if you look at it, they lost to North Carolina, who might be the ACC champions this year, and they lost to Jackson State, the number 5 team in the FCS. So I really think that they have a legitimate shot, based on their schedule to make the playoffs,
Yeah.
And I think if they don't make the playoffs, it'll be a tragedy.
My whole thing is they do make the playoffs, who they gonna play?
I mean, they're definitely going to be playing.
Thing. And then Blue also said that it's 4 teams from the SoCon and what's the other conference? The CAA that basically are going to get some of that, take some of that the at-large bid. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I know you said Herman and Chattanooga. Also, It was Infirmary in Chattanooga. Also, it was somebody else. It's two more teams that he put on there, man. That he said that they might take some bids away. Bring my boy Sir Retro in here. What's going on, man?
What's up with it, man? This is Margo from Jackson, bro. What y'all got going on?
Oh shoot, man. We just watched PV just pitch that game away.
Yeah, man. I was checking that game out, bro, and hey, I'm happy for Alcorn, because I mean that's a storied program, man. They done had success for a good while, and just to see them go, uh, what they done lost like the last 3 games, something like that. Games they really could have won, man. I'm like, come on, man. Now I'm just state all day, but
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I'm gonna pull for any Mississippi team, and that's just where I stand with it, especially, and this ain't nothing against, well, Mike, this is against you because you be talking so much crazy, boy.
Oh man,
I
I'm
love
gonna
it,
talk
Mike.
that
I love
talk.
it, Mike.
Hey,
I
but
love it.
he be coming with good points though. He
yeah,
do.
you
I
do come
can't
with
knock
good
that.
points.
You see, so but yeah, though, man. Like I say, man, I'm just glad that Alcorn came out that thing. And actually, I drive trucks, bro, and
Yeah,
I'm down here in Houston right now. I got to drop off a load tomorrow, man. But hell, if the game won, well, I got to drop off a load tomorrow over here in Katy, and
yeah.
then I got to drop off another load on Sunday in Baytown. So I'm finna be in Houston the whole weekend, man. And
Oh
if
yeah,
the game wasn't sold out, man, me and my wife, hey, we went caught the ticket, but it's over with now.
man. Hey, yeah, but like I said, the city gonna be wild tomorrow for Houston, especially if if the uh if the Astros win tomorrow. Let me bring my boy Hoop, man, because Hoop
Yeah,
went
one thing.
Hoop went to PV, man. Hey, Cliff, I'm about to bring you on to the show, bro. Get
One
this.
thing about me, Mike, he keeps you on your toes. That's why I love me, Mike. He makes you make sure that you study, get some information.
I
But
sent you the link, Cliff.
hey,
Don't put yourself in. Hey, Mike.
yeah,
I give it up to y'all, Morgan Bears, bro.
yeah. I think we're like a year or two away, man. I think Coach Wilson definitely have to do his due diligence to get a lot of the players out of the DMV, and I think we'll be ready to roll in about a couple of years. But yeah, this is like the spring season for us. So we're just getting everything together. Tyrone Whitley did such a horrible job. He basically stole money for about 3 or 4 years. So
Ooh,
I'm just happy that Wilson's in there, and we're just gonna get to working, man, and trying to build this program to what it used to be as a blue blood of the HBCU world. So that's our mission for this year. But just talking about Florida A&M, I think if they don't make it this year, I think it will really be a tragedy because
yeah,
Florida A&M, I mean, when they went to the Final Four when I was a little kid in '99, they had about 3 or 4 losses in the MEAC. They was able to run the table and make it to the Final Four. And they're as a HBCU, they're a blue blood. They're the
yep.
only HBCU to actually win a national
Championship,
championship
yep.
in 1978. So I just think on their pedigree alone, the name value, being a blue blood of the HBCU world, they should get a lean to make the playoffs.
They
Man.
should almost have it like the team with the best record besides the SWAC champion should get an at-large bid.
Well, back then we
Hmm.
did have, but you got to realize back then we did have those bids. If you won the SWAC, like the thing is, barring from the this is before we even made the championship. Barring from the fact that Grambling and Southern don't even qualify for the playoffs because they play the game right when the playoffs start. Um, if you was the number 1 team in the SWAC, or let's say you was the number 2 team in the SWAC, you get that automatic bid. But the only thing is they used to send us all the way up to the north or to like the northeast or to the Midwest. So the travel was crazy. Like that's the main thing. And then, understandably so, yes, you're playing in elements and stuff like that. But you know, in the South, we don't deal with snow. You know, like we don't really deal with snow on a good basis. Not like schools up north or the Midwest.
That's why in NFL, take it under certain degrees. In NFL, I think it was under, what was it, 20, 30 degrees or whatever. No team has won up north. You know what I mean? So that's why they're saying in the NFL, we'll get back to the HBCUs, but Miami, if they don't get at home, if they got to go to Buffalo, they're in trouble.
Yeah. So we didn't do well when it came to playoffs. That's the reason why our commissioner at the time, Dura Sharp, he withdrew us from being in the playoffs. Now, remember, the SWAC in the Ivy League and now the MEAC are the only schools, are the only conference that don't send, we don't have an automatic bid to the playoffs. The Ivy League is different because they don't provide scholarships, and once they play a 10-game season, so once 10 games is up, that's it. They go to basketball. The SWAC, since we got the SWAC championship, and then now we got, the Celebration Bowl. It's hard for us to get to the playoffs unless you are an at-large team, and somewhat you have to do somewhat what FAMU did last season. Down there, they won what? FAMU went 9 straight last season because they did this. I think they did the same thing last season. If I'm not mistaken, am I correct, Mike? Because they did the same thing last season.
Yeah, they ran the table.
Yeah, they ran the table to get into the playoffs. So, like, and they doing it again. And it's the crazy thing, they doing it again. But the reason why I see that it might be hard, like we were saying, it might be hard for them to get into the playoffs because of the fact that the wins that they have on their schedule is not dominant. It's like you basically got to play like you basically got to be like, look, my mind frame is I'm about to blow these motherfuckers out by 60.
Yeah, but maybe there's opportunity right now for the SWAC and HBCUs to set up a kind of a playoff system. Have one game in Atlanta, maybe one game in Charlotte. Maybe a 14 format. You know what I mean, with the HBCU. So that would generate lots of interest, or would generate lots of money, revenues for their school. Instead of right off the bat in the first 2 rounds, I believe they got to pay when you're in the FCS playoffs. So most teams in FCS go to the playoffs end up in a deficit.
So what'd you say, Retro?
No, I was gonna say, I was gonna bag up a little bit, and he raised a good point, and I'm gonna get to it. But I was gonna bag up the FAM. I know a lot of people was giving FAM a hard time, but essentially, FAM is actually doing what we expected them to do.
Yeah.
We knew they were gonna lose against UNC. We knew they were gonna lose against Jackson, and then continue on. Now, the problem I had with FAM is they ain't winning convincingly like I think they should.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you ain't blowing nobody out.
Yeah, exactly.
But no
Mike, like, I know Albany State is a strong D2 school, but you should not have a victory by 10 points against them.
The name of the game is just to keep on winning, Any win is convincing, because at the end of the day, when you go through the annals of history, they just see if you won or lost,
True.
So the main thing is just to win, man. And I think FAMU is doing what they're supposed to do, man. They're a former brother to MEAC, but I'm proud of what they're doing, man. I just want to see Bethune-Cookman get back to where they was when I was in college,
Oh, yeah.
But so the Florida A&M, they just got to keep on winning, and I think, man, it's just going to be in the hands of the committee as to whether if they make it or not, But
Right.
I'm really pulling for them to make it, and hopefully NCAT, wins the Big South,
Yeah, they on track to win the
and
Big South.
yeah. So hopefully NCCU represents us in the Celebration Bowl, or if not, hopefully they get a bid also.
Let's not forget about Tennessee State either, because they got
Nah,
to win
nah,
that.
Tennessee State need to go hit that weight room, man. Get stronger,
they,
man.
they still can win the OVC though. they still can win the OVC.
Man, Eddie George better hit that recruitment trail, and they better hit that weight room, man. I don't want to see them in there.
Yeah. I think the only one, let's see. I said if FAMU not a playoff team, they would get beat by 40 in the playoffs. Depends on who they playing.
Yeah,
Depends on where they going, who they playing. That's it. That's all it is.
Blue had speaking on the playoffs, Blue had actually enlightened me on something. I didn't know in the first round, it's either first or the second, he was speaking about that the FCS teams got to place a bid
Yeah,
to
the whole.
essentially get a home game. I'm like, what? That financially it don't make sense. So I see the perspective of what Prime talking about. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man, seriously.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, Blue did say that on his show. He said that schools that want to host a playoff game, they place a bid. The more money that they pay for to host the game and to keep hosting the game until you get on to the later rounds, then that's the reason why some people, like you said, that's the reason why I say some people lose money. But you also had schools like a James Madison that got buku, they got loads of money, or North Dakota State that has loads of money where they can actually place their bids and put all the money in that pot and basically, basically host the playoff game. They have the money for that.
Well, they base that also on the projection how much money they're going to make. So if they feel they're going to make X amount of dollars, they can make a bit substantial to what they think they're going to make. So, and the bottom line is they probably break. As long as they break even, they're going to be happy.
True. So I'm gonna go. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to this game with this Alcorn Prairie game, and then we'll jump on to the Southern Fam, and then Jack State and Texas Southern.
I just want to touch on that game a little bit. That Alcorn game was real frustrating, man, because every first down, these guys just run a 22 dive up the middle, man. Like, come on, man. The
Every
OC
play.
didn't have any diversity in his play calling, man. I swear to God, if Alcorn had just threw like a pop pass to the tight end on first down, he probably would have scored a touchdown, man. I mean, just play calling was just like absolutely frustrating with Alcorn.
Blue put it in there. He on the stream. Yeah. Hey, Blue, you want to jump in on the stream? I'll let you in, man. If you ain't busy.
Now they don't use. You see, that's the problem with the SWAC. The tight ends are almost like the dinosaurs. JSU's are using them a lot more, but it's true. The tight ends can be so effective and involved in the play column, which they're obsolete. It's just it's just terrible. I was watching that same thing, Alcorn. I said, "Oh, here goes the play again." It's like somebody playing EA Sports and just calling the same play.
I'm gonna tell you what this. Hey, Cliff and my boy, like I said, Hoop Jargon, he on there, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you just like this: Prairie View need to recruit a quarterback. I do not see, unless he improves as a passer, I don't see Conley being y'all QB. But I don't see Conley being y'all QB. Like, he has to improve as a passer. I don't, you have to go out there and get you a quarterback. Like, you had one last season with Jawan Pass, but he was kind of iffy because he didn't throw intermediate and short passes, but he threw the long, he threw the deep ball real good. but he was also mobile, for his size. Then you got Conley, he's an athlete playing quarterback. Now I know this because when he was at Duncanville, that's what he was. He was an athlete playing quarterback. And it's kind of like the same thing if you say the same thing with Demetrius Davis. He's an athlete playing quarterback. But y'all need y'all need a passer, especially for this system, man. Y'all, I like Mike said, I can't keep seeing 1st and 10. You get 12 yards off the rip on a run, and then you go right back to the same damn play again, and they already teeing in because they putting 7-8 in the box.
Mike, that remind me of? Remember the Titans? We're only going to run so many plays.
But I think it is. I mean, I think HBCUs, we suffer from a plague of bad quarterbacks. There's only about 3 good quarterbacks in HBCU. I would say Shedeur Sanders number 1, and then I will have NCCU quarterback number 2, and Andrew Body number 3. So we only have 3 out of 22 schools that have good quarterbacks. So that's a plague. And like I was telling between the game sports, I think the commissioner of the MEAC and SWAC need to address that and say, if you're going to be an applicant to be a quarterback, you have to go to quarterback camp for the whole winter, because you got to up that level of play, because the play will look so much better if you had competent quarterbacks.
And money will come in and everything.
And if you don't have a competent quarterback, if you look at Coastal Carolina, there's variations of the option you could run from a shotgun,
Hey,
so
that boy Grayson McCall is a gem. He is a gem, man. Like, I actually like watching him. I like watching underdogs for some reason, though. So Alcorn, they kind of keep I guess they kind of keep their season alive as far as try to win the West. Texas Southern and TSU and Southern, like the head-to-head matchup with them, TSU has a stronghold on that because they beat them early in the season. Prairie View basically have a stronghold against TSU because they beat them at the beginning of the season, but they also lost to Alcorn and Southern. But good kudos to Coach McNair. Hopefully they got all the stuff that was going on with them out of their system and move on to the next opponent. Next on the list, man, is that Southern versus FAMU. Talk about a little bit about that. Like you said, Mike, FAMU winning, they won 6 straight after losing the first two in the beginning. So they got 6 straight wins, and I'm looking at them like you can win 7. You can beat Southern convincingly. But there's some things I do not like about FAM, and I know you'll probably point this. You'll probably agree with me on this too, and you too, Brian. FAM, it all starts with Musa. Jeremy Musa. He's a good quarterback. Would I call him a great quarterback? No, he's a good quarterback. One thing that he does do is he holds on to the ball too long. He does takes a lot of hits. He has been sacked 14 times this season. And he also has thrown 7 interceptions. So some of his decision making is not the greatest. The other main thing about Musa is he keys in on one receiver, and that's Xavier Smith. I feel like he does not trust his other receivers. And I mean, with the route, with the route concepts for the receivers at FAM, it's not even that hard. Like, you can spread the ball and throw the ball around to your other receivers, and not just key in, just on Xavier. So I want to know what you think about that, Mike.
Man, I personally think I would have him as the fourth best quarterback in HBCU football behind Andrew Body. And I'm an avid gambler, so the first thing I look at before I make a bet is just the quarterback, And I think he's better than Southern's quarterback, so I give the edge to FAMU in that department. I like to see FAMU impose their will more so on the ground, and run that and run the rock. I would say affectionately, when FAMU plays like a MEAC team and pounds the ball, they're undefeated. When they go like a SWAC team and try to air the ball out, that's when they catch them L's. So if they can impose their will on the ground, and Musa's kind of like schizophrenic, man. Sometimes he can drop that ball in a bucket, and other times he's throwing it to the other team like he's colorblind. So if he can limit his turnovers, I think FAMU will be all right.
Yeah, that one thing what you said about the running game, like I said, they're last in the conference in rushing offense with 809 yards. Like, I don't see how you can survive with 6 wins in a row that you can't run the ball. Like,
that's tough.
That is tough. The other thing I don't like about FAM when it comes to play call is that defensive play calling. Show me something better than just doing the 4-man front and dropping everybody back in pass coverage.
Yeah, he has no exotic fronts at all.
Like, I can't. It's like, dude, it's like watching paint drop when they play defense.
But you have to blame the other coaches for not exploiting that, because if they're playing a vanilla defense and they're winning 90% of the games, they're going to continue doing what they've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they got, after the Jackson State game, where they just exploited the heck out of them. And, and see, usually, well, football, not usually, but football's a copycat leagues and whatever league you're playing. But you say the same thing when we go to Tennessee State where they played Jackson. I'll even go back to South Carolina the way they played Jackson last year, and Tennessee picked up on that. Alabama State picked up on that. Campbell tried to do that. Southern tried to do that. Is dropping, eight, putting 3 up and having 8 back. The thing is with FAMU, just like Dennis Green, FAMU is who we thought they would be. We knew we'd lose the first 2 games, and then they would run the table, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
But if you look at Florida A&M, not to cut you off,
no, go ahead.
Their only losses over the last 2 years have been the competent quarterbacks, Shador Sanders and Cole Kelly. So if you don't have a competent quarterback that can exploit the weaknesses, FAMU is going to prevail. So, and that's the only losses they had: Cole Kelly from Southeast Louisiana and Shador Sanders. Those was 2 of the best quarterbacks in the FCS that they lost to. An average quarterback is.
No, go ahead.
An average quarterback is not going to beat Florida A&M. You have to be, I would say, at least at Shador's level or Cole Kelly's level to really beat FAMU.
Now, if I remember back in the day when FAMU did have, they had the Mad Bomber, Quentin Bonner. So you could go back to a lot of QBs, even when they was in the MEAC. That Quentin Bonner, Patrick Bonner. I was about to say Quentin. Patrick Bonner. Hell, they had Casey Prentice. Mm-hmm. He transferred in from TCU. He liked to throw the ball around, but he was more, Casey was more athletic. But he did have an arm. Like y'all had, you had capable quarterbacks, back then that actually threw, they threw the ball. They played within the system, and they minimized their mistakes. and they exploited other teams, tendencies too back then. That's something that I did like. And I remember this when I was at Jackson, 98, we played FAM. And they came to Jackson. Oh my God. Beat the brakes off of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember
beat
that.
the
I was a baby tiger that year.
bro. Beat the God rest Wavy Day.
Good day, RIP.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
hey, beat the break, bro. I was in the stands. I was a sophomore that year. Beat the brakes off of us and went back to Tallahassee. Funny, band came in all late and shit. I was like, oh my God. Waited to the second quarter for these Negroes to march in. We already getting our head beat in by, we was getting beat down by 20 at the in the first, in the first quarter. Like, man, bro, Patrick Bonner put it on us. And then they had Quinn Gray too. Man, he was a beast too.
Yeah, that was their glory years.
That was the glory, that was literally glory years right there.
But see, I want to ask you: is the running back Sims, that young man, is he coming back this game?
He's out. I think he's
He's
out.
out.
I think he got another MCL or ACL. Yeah, They're not saying, but that's what it looked like.
Southern might be in trouble then, man.
Oh,
That's their
Yeah,
even if
boy
he was
right there.
playing Southern, we'd be in trouble.
if FAMU's O line do the same thing that Jackson State did to Southern D line, that's game over.
Hey
But
Doc,
we even go ahead, Mike.
hey Doc, how much for the playoffs? Getting back to the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
they said that the NCAA reimburses you at the end of the playoff run, but how much does it cost to actually make a playoff run? Because I would say that falls on the alumni. Like if every alumni from Florida A&M, Jackson State actually puts up $100, man, I think that can finance a playoff run. I don't know.
Mike, I mean not Mike, but Blue, he already put it in there. He said that they all bid on top. He said, but he was telling me North Dakota State don't bid on home games. He said if you are a top 18, a top 8 seed, then you don't have to bid on the home game. I think it's for the rest of them that actually wants to host. That actually wants to host a home game at the beginning.
That's why Coach Prime says, listen, my interest is winning the SWAC and going to the Celebration Bowl. Celebration Bowl, does each team get either 1 million each or 2 million or something? But it's just more beneficial for him. Plus, it'll be on ABC. It's a win-win situation.
I mean, well, up until you get to either the semis or the quarters of the semis, as far for the SDS playoffs, I mean, like you're still on TV, but then like those beginning of the year, the beginning games, the opening games are on. They're on like the school's program.
Streams.
They're on their streams or their broadcast.
But you're still not going to get the audience that you're going to get playing on ABC. You know what I mean, for a championship game like they did the Celebration Bowl. The numbers that they did were incredible. So you're not going to get that kind of shine.
Hey, EA, I'm gonna tell you just like this. As far as your offense goes, man, if KJ Black was still your offensive coordinator, if KJ Black was still your offensive coordinator, I think it would be more innovation with the offense. And let's see, Southern. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't really have too much to say about Southern. You can't just go out there and lay flat on your back again. That's what I heard. You can't lay flat on your back again. So you gotta redeem yourself. Just especially after getting that goose egg the week before.
Yeah. But speaking upon the money aspect, I want to say Coach Campbell had brought this up before. You know, and see, this where a better organization gonna have to come about, as well as communication.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get 10,000 people, I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really not compared to the amount of alumni that come out of these institutions. But you
Yeah.
can get 10,000 people to donate $100 a year. That's $8 a month, a little bit over, some change.
Yeah.
Man, that's $1 million.
Right.
You see, but uh,
But
you know,
the thing is, everybody's situation ain't, everybody's situation is different from everybody else. So you don't know, sometimes we don't know what that person's
Financial situation is.
financial situation is.
true,
But
true.
but the thing is, this is where creativity has to come in. You have to have things to be creative to get kind of money, get funds to support your school and stuff like that. That's why, especially in Jackson State, and you're from Jackson, that the money that's been they're generating from the football games, not only in Jackson but surrounding counties, you have to have the right people, and I think you do have the right people now with Ashley Robinson and the president of JSU. And you know what? You have to go into the communities, and you have to sit down and say, listen, we need a tip. We need a tip because they wouldn't be making their money. What in the last two games they said they grossed over $13 million. That's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's a lot of money right there. Hey man, it's the H-Town Takeover. Just stays down in Houston right now. I know Coach Prime got them boys locked down in a hotel because he don't want nothing to happen to them. What happened to Takeoff? Like I said, God rest his soul. Prayers to his family, for to his loved ones. But I know they locked down. They should be not say locked down, but they should be good. They should be ready for tomorrow because this game is at 6:00 in the evening. I think this is the only game that we played after that's not either a 1 or 2 or a 3:00 game. Like is I don't even think we played any type of evening game.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so man, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna give out a little discussion, then get some final thoughts, and then I'm gonna shut it down. Been on here 2 hours because we were watching that damn boring ass game I saw.
No, it's a good game. What's a good game
No,
though?
it was a good game, but it was, oh my god. I'm Prairie View. Oh my god. So yeah, y'all see it. I put their Third Ward Tigers on there. My expectations is I think Texas Southern's gonna try to come out there and prove to everybody that they can try to hang with JSU. And the key word is try. I'm not gonna say they are. I said they're gonna try. Like Mike said, Andrew Body is the third best quarterback at HBCU football.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Now I do have like I said with Texas. I did watch them early this season. They played Southern. And they jumped out on them by 21-0 in the first half. My thing about Texas Southern is when on the offensive, play calling can get vanilla. They are a run. They are a fast-paced RPO offense. Predicate everything off the run. They have a good enough workhorse running back in Ladarius Owens. They also got a serviceable backup in Ja'Cory Howard, and then the third man on the list is Andrew Body. The main thing about him is he has to get going. That means if this man is running, if he don't see nobody in the pocket and he's not even, he don't get flushed, but he got that lane to run, he's going to take it. And he has the athleticism and the speed to actually get to the outside. Now, we talking about Andrew Body, who was like I said, in high school, the number 5 QB in all-time passing yards in any classification in the state of Texas. So that means that my dude, he can sling the ball.
He's not accurate though.
He's not accurate, but his receivers don't do him justice either.
No, there are a lot of drops.
If you see just like with Prairie View, his receivers don't do him justice. Now he got one capable receiver, which is Derek Morton. He's a speedster. Now he got hands. All right. But the other ones are questionable.
He'll be meeting Mr. Hunter tomorrow.
He will meet Mr. Hunter, but I think that might switch. I think Jackson State might switch. I think
he might have to go down the Hunter lane.
I don't know. I think Jackson State might switch. I think Nugget might get on Morton.
Like I always say, I wait till Saturday morning for Vegas to bring. You can hear me?
Yeah.
You say you gonna wait till Saturday morning?
Vegas.
Hey man.
You there, Mike?
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. We hear you.
I think it's Mike. Hey Mike, yeah.
Yeah. Like I always say, I wait till Saturday morning for Vegas to bring out the spread before I really make my final prediction. But you can hear me?
What was your early line? We hear you. What's your early line? You're going in and out.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Nah, they bring it out Saturday morning, but I think
okay.
I really don't see this game being competitive. I mean, Jackson State has a preempt. You can hear me? Yeah, Jackson State has a preeminent defense, and I see the score being like probably 42-7, 42-3. I really don't think this is going to be much of a ball game, man, at all.
I think that's what I put on one of my things.
Jackson State's going to run roughshod over them. You know, Andrew Body is a great player, but you need a great team to beat Jackson State. So I don't see it being close. I think it's going to be a total blowout, domination. I mean, really, Jackson State doesn't have any competition in the SWAC at all. So, I mean, last year they beat everybody in SWAC by 20, and they had a poor offensive line. So this year, I just think it's domination.
And that's the crazy thing. That's what he's been preaching on. He preached that from the beginning of the season. Before the season even started, he wanted to dominate. I think that's the reason why he grinded so hard in the offseason to recruit the offensive lineman, to get the offensive lineman that he needed to go and try to get the defensive, the defensive players that he needed. Like he wanted to prove a point. His whole thing is to prove a point. His point is y'all got to us last season as far as the Celebration Bowl. That ain't gonna happen this season. That was his whole thing. That's his whole thing. And he has lived up to all the expectations. So for all the haters out there, y'all, I mean, step your game up and stop crying, stop wishing that a non-HBCU team will beat us, or wishing that he would lead Jackson right now is not happening. He there. He there for a while. Y'all just gonna have to deal with it. But either you're gonna have to deal with it, or you're gonna have to get better. Which one do you want?
Man, you know what? I want to say this, and I apologize
Boy,
for cutting your wisdom, but like when one talk about the about him leaving, what people got to realize, me personally, I've been through this before.
yeah,
I played at, not to give a crazy backstory, but I played at Callaway High School,
yeah.
uh, and I played basketball. And
Mhm.
my '07 year, we went like 7-21, something like that.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah, it
and
was bad.
that's not even a standard for Callaway though either.
You know what I'm saying? And then the next year when Coach Brent came, the former Jack State coach,
Yeah,
um, we went. Uh, I want to say we went like 21-7, something like that. And then the next year we went 25 and like 6 or something like that. And we won the state championship, the Grand Slam championship. Even went
hmm
up to Kentucky and beat the number 8 team in the nation out of Wheeler, Georgia, Wheeler High School.
yeah,
And we was ranked in the nation after that. You see, and then after a while, we started getting more and more high profile players. And I graduated in '09, but and then David Sanders took over, and the foundation that he laid has continued that success over a decade later. They still winning. And so
yeah,
it's not all about somebody staying, but more so about the foundation being laid for a winning program for somebody to see, okay, this is the recipe for how you need to get it done. And from there, Jackson, in terms of the fans, the alumni, etc., should want nothing less whenever he go. You see, so
yeah. I agree with you though. I agree with you. Just like you said, it don't matter. Like you said, it don't matter. It when he goes, it's just a matter of the fact. It's just a matter of who he gonna have in place, and the person that he have in place, or the people that we hire. Are they gonna continue on what Coach Prime has done?
exactly.
That's the main thing. If you're gonna continue on what Coach Prime has done, then you're gonna be successful. You're gonna be successful. People think like my whole thing is, and this is my thing. People think that, excuse me, y'all. People think that yes, because he's getting these offers and these calls from these Power Five jobs and stuff like that. Um, what if he leaves some of the people out of his defense, off his staff leave, but he leaves somebody stays, somebody from his staff stays at Jackson.
Exactly.
And and if they stay, he probably implement a little bit of his own thing, but he's probably gonna keep rolling with, you know what I'm saying, what Prime got. I think that's a winner. That's a winning solution right there. Because everybody's thinking about when he leaves, like, oh, we about to be garbage again. You know what I'm saying? We about to be this. We about to be the laughing stock of the SWAC again. Now, I'm not gonna go into detail, but I remember some schools that was not that great either.
Mm-hmm.
I could go back to Southern. Yeah, Southern was, they was a powerhouse back, they're a blue blood in the SWAC, but they wasn't all that great. Like
But that's
in the mid 90s, they wasn't all that great.
but
Like,
that happens in all sports though.
yeah,
But the thing is, just to piggyback, you see, Prime is building a program. So when you build a program and you start from the foundation, so you're building that program, you're building it up. So whoever takes over is just going to add on to that, to add on to what he has built at that program. But going to the now that we talked about that, but going to back to the football game. I'm going to pivot here back to the football game.
Uh
So
oh.
JSU, so the keys are what? Make body one dimensional. You want to see if he can throw the ball like like you want him to, because you don't want him to do RPOs for the simple reason they gained a lot of yards last year, so they learned a lot of things. He didn't particularly gain a lot of yards, but his running backs did. I think he had the most yards against us last year, I
He's
believe.
the only
So
person to break 100 yards on us like that.
it was like 150 or 160. It was up there. So you got to fill the gaps and make sure that you're playing on the edges as far as like that. Make them one dimensional, and then after you're going to see it is what it is. But like I said, I picked like 42-7. One thing that I want to see on the offensive side is make sure that you start off with the run instead of, because a lot of times you start off with the pass, and so we get if the first pass is incomplete, so now we're 2nd and 10. So it's easy for the defense to start the hunt. So if you're 2nd and 10, and it becomes third and 10, so down and distance is very important. So if you got a guy like Wilkerson that's getting like 5 yards a carry, so if he gets 4 or 5 yards, now you're 2nd and 5. So you have a lot more opportunities, a lot more in your play calling. So I just want to continue them to set the tone, do more crossing patterns, use the tight ends, use the tight ends more. And if you do a 4th down, why not bring in one of those big offensive linemen and use them as a fullback? If you got 1 yard to go, I just sometimes like Bartolome is calling. I give him for play calling this year. I give him a B. And obviously they're still in the first year of this system, and hopefully it's getting better, progressing better. But some of the games it's been very stagnant on the play call, in my opinion.
But yeah, I see, man, with this game right here. Like I said, yeah, we do need to start off with the run, work our way with the pass. You do kind of want to make Andrew one-dimensional with passing the ball. I mean, if you're going to make him one-dimensional, you're going to make him one-dimensional for him to stay in the pocket to be a passer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because if he goes out and runs to find the receiver, that's within his wheelhouse.
Yeah. But you see, the last couple of games that we've been playing quarter from Campbell to Southern. Quarterbacks were very mobile, and they're not, maybe they weren't accurate else, but they were very mobile and they were very deceptive, and they were good in what they were doing out of the pocket. So the thing is, even to go back on something else, we're talking about Prime as far as domination. Prime doesn't just want to dominate for the sake of the SWAC. He knows that for his players to get recognition, to go into the draft, they have to dominate. That's what his purpose is for players going to the next level, and also for players to, to be professionals in other endeavors. But for them to get players drafted, they have to dominate.
Yeah, they have to dominate. Kind of like what IMG Academy did today against West Toronto Prep. 96-0. They called this game in a sack at halftime. Oh my God. Yeah.
So, do you read what EA is saying? He says if I'm going to disagree with Prime Leagues, I will have to be revised on the foundation, especially the 40-30-30 recruiting. So if something, I understand what you're saying, and you definitely have a point. But if something's not broke, why fix it?
That is true.
If they're having success with the 40-30-30, why change anything? Sometimes we don't. Sometimes when a new person comes in, they want to change to necessitate the thing. Oh, we had to change this. But if you don't have to change anything, why change? You know what I mean? You might put a little touch up here and touch up there, but if something's working and your program is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and we know there's only one Prime, we understand that, but you don't have to change the whole recruiting system just because Prime left.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Val. Thank you, Bill. Make sure y'all, if y'all want to donate to the channel, man, I have the Cash App at the bottom. Donate to the channel. It's in the ticker, man. But yeah, other than that, man, good win for Valley, good win for Alcorn tonight. Valley last night. We got a lot of football to watch tomorrow. Be ready for this Jackson State game. 6:00 kickoff tomorrow, y'all. And like I said, Jackson State win and Astros win. It's a match made in heaven. Basically, somebody ain't getting out of the city. Somebody ain't getting out of the city if the Astros win. They gonna be out there partying for real. Somebody gonna be on this and that, try to have fun or some shit like that. But man, any final thoughts, my guy?
Well, like I just said, to reiterate.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, my man. Go ahead.
Pardon me, man. I ain't know. Yeah. Essentially, with Jackson, a lot of people call it upset weekend. Of course, you had Valley do their thing. Alcorn just did what they had to do. Uh, so I'm assuming, people gonna take that same mentality into the Jackson and TSU game. But essentially, I see them guys just way too disciplined and focused, to have a mishaps like that. So with that, I say Jackson State winning convincingly, and I'm also taking FAMU to win. That's all I got, y'all.
All right. Boy, Retro said he got fam and Jackson to win tomorrow. What you got, Brian?
Okay, my final thoughts is EA would just he wrote that if Prime leaves, they won't have a graduate transfer. Like I said, we're going to agree to disagree on that because when a program is built on a solid foundation, you know what? The successor understands how to succeed, and for that to go away, hey, time will only tell. So, but at the moment, we're talking about Houston. We're talking about JSU. We're talking about Texas Southern. The great Andrew Body. I hope he does well. As far as his team is concerned, he's gonna have to play a great game. But unfortunately, and Mrs. Body and Mr. Body, I always see them on chat. Seem like great people, and they raised seem like a phenomenal young man. I hope your son comes out the game healthy. But unfortunately, they're gonna lose like 42-7.
Oh yeah.
Pleasure talking to you, Miak.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my boy Miak Mike, man. Y'all catch him in the chat whenever I'm on the show. So he a day one. For me, like I said, I think I predicted score 41-21. I don't know.
You're giving them you're giving them 21 points, though?
They might get 21 points, but it's gonna be a hard 21 points that they will get.
I'm keeping the shit up, brother.
They'll prove me wrong again because shoot, I had Southern before some I think like 14 or something like that. Hell, I didn't know they were gonna get a goose egg. I did not know they were gonna get that goose egg put on them. Like I said, it's a good day of sports today. I mean, this weekend, especially down in Houston, Astros World Series, TSU Jackson State. You got some good games tomorrow. Southern and FAMU, North Carolina Central and Howard. Yep. So you got some good games tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all watch those games tomorrow. I will probably be on here at probably like 6. I think I'm gonna leave at 5 from work. 5 o'clock tomorrow from work, and be back over here, get everything set up, and get the rolling by 6 o'clock. Probably do a watch party if so. If nobody don't want to pay the subscription for ESPN, but yeah. So also I might, if you catch Sean, he does stream the show. He does stream the games. So y'all might catch Sean on that. Not bad for social media presence. It's not bad. Other than that, man, like if you're in Texas, if you're in Dallas, like look, we just went through some storms today, so kind of hunkered down. The weather did change. It got cold. It got cold outside tonight. Y'all warm up. Stay safe. Don't do nothing stupid out there. Also, like I said, just get ready for some football tomorrow, y'all. Get ready for football. Bro, I covered the MEAC too, so I'm getting there. Look, you didn't, Russell. You didn't turn me to a MEAC fan. The dude from HBCU Nightly on Twitter Space has turned me into a MEAC fan. We talk about everybody on Twitter Space. We talk about everybody on there. So it's not even just MEAC and SWAC. It's Tennessee State. Is North Carolina A&T. Is D2 HBCU football. You know what I'm saying? Langston. We talk about everybody. You know, not just one. We just talk about everybody. But yeah, I'm getting my MEAC hours up. How about that? I'm getting my MEAC. I'm getting up my MEAC hours. All right. But I'll see you tomorrow, Brian.
See you tomorrow, my brother.
All right. I'll
have a blessed night.
Thank you. I'll put that link in there for you. When I get it
all done. Tell Mrs. Holiday. Tell the boss lady I said hello.
I will.
All right.
So, yeah, we've been on here for almost, man, it's about to go on to 3 hours. Man, I didn't even expect that. But Val, you just like me. I literally have not watched the Power 5 game this year, except for the Tennessee-Alabama game. That's it. Maybe the Texas-Alabama game too, because I wanted to see if UT would have pulled that off. But those 2 games, I watched those. Other than that, I haven't watched no Power 5 schools this season, literally. That's why I really didn't even know that UNC was that good. Hell, I didn't even know TCU was undefeated. You know, so but in the meantime, between time, this is your boy Doc Holliday. We will be back tomorrow with the live post-game show. If so, we'll probably have a watch party, pre-game show when I get to the house. Hey man, I'm just letting y'all know. But this is HBCU Overdrive Live, the H-Town Takeover, Jackson D.I. Love edition, Jackson State football. Make sure that y'all like the stream, comment, share, and most of all, subscribe. Become a member of the hottest HBCU podcast that's on YouTube right now. And as always, make sure be blessed, stay dangerous. Peace.